fought so many spiritual battles. Dzakawandisa, dzakarwa. You know, at his age, he has been through it all, you know. But he's a fighter. He is a fighter. And I'm sure vazhinji munotozviona munomuona. He's a prayer warrior. He's a prophet. Mwari vanongozviratidza kuburikidza naye. And he has faced zvinhu zvakawandisa zvaakadarika nazvo. He has faced rejection. He has faced kushorwa. He has faced kutukwa. Vamwe vanomutuka, vamwe vanomushora, vamwe vanotaura zvinhu zvakawanda. But the bottom line is God is showing himself through Tino. And many of you can testify. Many of you can testify. Mwari vari kuzviratidza. Mwari vane chavari kuita paupenyu hwaTino. Mwari vane zvavari kubata paupenyu hwake. So murisei. Ndinokuchingamidzai zvekare pachirongwa chedu My Story with Lady P aka My Tino. Yes, vamwe munotofarira kunditi My Tino. Zvisinei hazvo, ndadzoka nepati 2 yestory yaTino. Tiri kumbofamba tichitaura nhau yaTino, the story of Tino, answering all your questions. Vanhu mune mibvunzo yakawanda kani, I know. So on our previous episode, takaguma tichitaenda naTino kuchurch, abatwa namufundisi. Vataura vakati, it is well, it is done. Ndidi kunyepa, ndakaona ukuru hwaMwari. Nekuti patakadzokera kumba, Tino akatotanga kugona kunwa mvura, akatotanga kugonawo kutoti kudya chimwe chikafu. And tichidzokera kumashure, pesa apa paakanga asingadye, asingafariri kunwa mvura, it's not kuti airwara zvokuti anopisa muviri zvokuti takambonorara naye muchipatara, aiwa. But it was just something that was happening, something that I could not understand, you know. And something chekuti sometimes you won't even realize kuti something is wrong while something is already wrong, you know. But zvisinei mufundisi also vakandikurudzira kuramba ndichinamata, vakandiudza vakati, you know what, you need to gear up, you need to change the way you pray, because you are in a war. This is a war. Parikuda kuti musimuke mumire segamba. So I remember the other day, Tino, like usual, he cried and cried and cried. Takatora munyu, tikazama kukusha mumba munyu wemagodo uya. The salt did not work. And then we like, okay, nenda pererwa samai, baba vaimukawo ayewa. Nukuti panguva yoyo, things were okay with his father. Ataimira tesa ndidi kunyepa. So he was busy kunyararidza mwana, and then I started praying. I just started praying. Ndakanamata in tongues. I prayed. Ndakanamata even ndichikumbira kuna Mwari, ndichikasta, ndichibinda. You know all those kind of prayers now. So ndiri pakati pekunamata, ndakaona a vision. Vakadzi vatatu vachipinda nepamadziro vachipinda mumba. Saka pavakapinda nepamadziro vachipinda mumba, inini handina kunge ndichinzwisisa kuti chichiri kuita. Ndakavhura maziso, ndikatarisa, ndikatoona kuti aiyewa, vision iyi iri kutoramba ichitove very close. Kuti Joshua mumba muno mumapinda vanhu, I also could feel the presence yevanhu vapinda. Ndopa ndakatarisa vana vangu, vakatowedzera kuchema. Baba vakamirapo, ndikatarisa kuti zvino ndikaudza murume kuti baba vomwana ndizvo zvandiri kuona izvi, baba vomwana vanozvitenda iri. Vakadzi vaya vanga vasina kupfeka kumusoro, vakangopfeka kuzasi. Ndakanamata, and these women were angry. They were like, wearing these angry faces. Saka ndakatoona kuti panapa ndikada kutya inofa kwangu, so I prayed and prayed and prayed and prayed kusvika ndaona vanhu vaiva kubuda vakuenda, but pandaida unoti nyararei vaita nguva rira unodzoka. Saka pavakatanga kubuda vachienda, vana vakatanga kunyarara. Vana vakabva vatanga kunyarara. Aiwa, ndikaona vanhu vaenda kurodhi, vakurodhi uko, vana vakabva vati zii, ndokubva tarara. Handina kuudza murume kuti baba vemwana ndizvo zvandaita sei, zvandasangana nazvo. Saka takazoti nekufamba kwenguva, aiwa, kuchema kwakabva kwazopera pamwana. Kunwa mvura, kunwa kudya, skini yake yadzokera paposition, zvatova right. But then pane zvimwe zvinhu futi zvainge zvongoramba zvongoitika, zvaive zviri strange, asi takanga tisinganyanyaita shungu nazvo, uchingoti amen. Ende humwe wacho nenyaya yokuti wakanga uri wana udiki, mwana aigona ngoti every Friday wada kuti unogezesa mwana waingosvika pamwana zibundu kuseri kwenzeve, uda unoti imwe Friday anongobuda zikubundu kuzasi kunoku kuzvombo zvake uko, zvekuti to an extent yekuti dai kuri kunzi handisirini ndaigara nemwana, ndaigona kufunga kuti mwana wangu, munhu anosara nemwana wangu anoabhusa mwana wangu, but because ndini ndaisara ndaizvigarira nemwana wangu. But zvisinei hazvo, aiwa, ndakatanga kuona improvement pamwana. But kugara, mwana haasi kugara. Kuitawo sevamwe vana vezera rake, it's not happening. Ndopandakazoti ava ne10 months rega ndiende kuchipatara. Tasvika kuchipatara for mascale aya ekuti vanenge vachitarisa mwana. Ndopandakabvunza nesi, ndikati nesi, mwana wangu inini haagare, haataure, what could be the problem? Nesi akati it's not normal for a 10 months old baby, no. Then she referred me to the hospital. When she referred me to the hospital, then they did all the tests, speech therapy test, and all the tests. They did all the tests to check if there was something wrong with the child, but there was nothing wrong with the child. So now I was so worried. What is really happening? But then immediately they book him for my physiotherapy, and then they said I must go to the hospital every month kuti vanomita therapy. I was still in denial. And then I spoke to the father, telling him kuti this is what is happening. But then he never said anything, if I must say. He never said anything. He never showed that he's hurt. He never showed me that he's not accepting it. Inini personally, I thought we were together in all these things, because he never gave me that impression that he was not okay with the situation. But then I remember one day our children were just having restless nights again, and then I had to ask the father, because he was going to this white men's church. He believed in those prophets. And then he went to church one day, and I just like, you know what, my husband, when you go to your church, will you please ask what's happening to our children? Why are they restless? Why are they like this? And then he went to that church. But I remember very well that the day that she came back from that church, he just came and sit. He didn't say anything. And I was like, what did they say? Then he said, no, they said you are the witch. And I was like, what? He said, yeah, they said you are the witch. Yes, you changed to a snake that you change to a snake that is attacking me and my children every night. Unomuka maneru uchiti nanjwa uchita say. And I was like, oh my God. But you know that every midnight I will be awake praying. How can I change into a snake whilst I'm praying at the same time? But then, yeah, then I said to him, you know what, my husband, it's fine. You know, because they are spiritual people, maybe they see what I don't see. So on Sunday, will you take me so that they can pray for me as well? So that I don't want to be a witch, you know? Because I said this to him because I thought we were together, like we were in this situation together. But to my surprise, he refused. He said, no, you can go there alone. Then I said, but where am I going to go? Because I don't know who told you that. Now my pastor never told me that I'm a witch, or in my church I've never manifested a spirit, a witchcraft spirit in me. Never. Saka, you have to take me there now. And then he refused. Then I know that, oh, okay, it's fine. But then that's when our problems started. So now I was worried and stressed with my child. And then that time he was still available in the life of Tino. It was okay. So as Tino was growing, me and my ex-husband, we were also growing apart. You know, like the connection, the love, everything was just dying slowly. And then nothing changed on Tino. He was just like that. So now I was stressed. I was in denial. And at the same time, I want to fight for my child. And then I want to fight for my marriage. So I was just like I'm in the middle. But anyway, Tino keep on fighting. You know, the attacks, the attacks that I could see were like moved away. They were like disappeared. Kwanga kusisina zvema attacks ayaye kuti anongochema anongera sei. He was just there. Asina chaanokwanisa kuita. Haasi kukura, you know. And then as a mother, pane madays ekuti I would cry praying to God. I remember I once did this prayer kuna Mwari. Ndikati Mwari, it's either you heal my child from whatever chaari kusangana chaanorwara nacho chandisingazive chisiri kuzikanwa nanachiremba, muporesei aitewo sevamwe vana, kana kuti mutorei zvenyu. There was a time that I did that prayer. It's either muchamuporesa kana kuti mumutora, because what do you want me to do? And then that prayer did not work. It did not work. Then I go back again to the Lord and I said, Mwari, if you make this one thing for me, I will tell the whole world about Tino. I will tell the whole world about Tino. And this is why I'm telling his story. Because I made a vow to my God that if you do this one thing for me, kana makangogona kumuti agare, mukangogona kuti azvidyire, if he can just be independent for once, just a small independent, I will tell the whole world. Nyika yese ichaziva kuti there is a boy by the name Tino living. And I think that prayer, God is answering it today. God is answering that prayer today. Yes. Munamato iwoyoyo wakatanga kuchipindurwa, but years later. So Tino, he has been through it all. Akaenda akanochekwa rurimi zvazvokunzi, because people now were coming with different stories. Others would tell me that, you know what, maybe mwana wako aneka ruvimbo pasperurimi kanomutadzisa kutaura. Vamwe vakauya vakati endai naye anoonekwa kumadzibaba. We have been moving around with him. So akaenda akanochekwa rurimi, but nothing changed. Kuchipatara, they never see anything wrong. Kuti anonzi anoda kuchekwa rurimi and everything. They did all the tests that were necessary. But chavakazongotiudza ndechekuti your child has got cerebral palsy. Ndo zvinhu zvavakazokwanisa kutiudza izvozvo. But otherwise, takararama naye nguva yakareba tisingazive kuti dambudziko rake riri papi, condition yake ndeyei. Saka akazotanga kugona kugara ava ne6 years, ndopa akazonyatsogona kusimba kugara. Then akazogona kuzvidyira ega, kunyatsogona kuzvidyira ega when he was 8 years. And we are still counting because we still have hope and faith that one day he will be better. But that boy, he has faced so many spiritual battles. Dzakawandisa, dzakarwa. You know, at his age, he has been through it all, you know. But he's a fighter. He is a fighter. And I'm sure vazhinji munotozviona, munomuona. He's a prayer warrior. He's a prophet. Mwari vanongozviratidza kuburikidza naye. And he has faced zvinhu zvakawandisa zvaakadarika nazvo. He has faced rejection. He has faced kushorwa. He has faced kutukwa. Vamwe vanomutuka, vamwe vanomushora, vamwe vanotaura zvinhu zvakawanda. But the bottom line is God is showing himself through Tino. And many of you can testify. Many of you can testify. Mwari vari kuzviratidza. Mwari vane chavari kuita paupenyu hwaTino. Mwari vane zvavari kubata paupenyu hwake. So this is the story of Tino. The rest, you just see it every day. I just wanted to give a background on how he grew up, because vazhinji makazongomona akura akutogona kuita zvaari kukwanisa kuita right now, and then you had so many questions kuti chii chakamboitika.